it's Allison and I am back today to share with you another Traveler's Notebook spread. There is no design process for this video. I did have a design ready to go, and then at the last minute I decided I didn't like it and totally switched gears. So the original would have been 2 pages, and when I decided to change everything, I whittled it down to just 1 page and decided to call it quits on this album. And I'll tell you why in just a little bit. So I literally was just playing when I sat down to create today. I was really interested in creating a watercolor look using stamps. All I did to do that was loaded my stamp up with ink, and then gave it a little spray of water from a spray bottle and then stamped it to the paper. I did that with the leaves. I used 2 different leaves in a repeating pattern on the right hand side of the white panel that you see in the screen now. And then I did the same with the title. So I used all Close to My Heart inks. It's a yellow ink, orange ink, and brown. Because in my scrapbooking, I am moving into fall, and the picture that I'm adding to the spread totally has the fall colored leaves, just fall colors in it, and I thought that I would just run with it. I also added on a whim some little florals from the same stamp. My goodness, I got to settle down here and get myself organized, my thoughts at least. I used a small floral stamp from the same stamp set that I was using to stamp across the leaves and the title. I didn't bother watercoloring those because it was so small. I thought that it would just end up kind of getting lost and looking like blobs rather than flowers. I also decided to include my photo and the journaling on the left-hand side of the page. So essentially, this mat is split down the middle, maybe a little bit more than half, and it's got 2 sides, basically. Here I am figuring out which alphas I want to use to finish the title. The main part of the title is here, but I also wanted to include the word around. Or I was going to use right as well, but in the end I decided to use around. For no reason. It sounded just as good as right here. But this is a perfect snapshot of the area that I live in. As we're coming into town, we drive into a valley and it's forest. We live in a woodland area, and for miles around, all you can see is trees. And the view of this area in autumn is spectacular. And it's one of the things that drew us here when we first moved here. My husband had lived here once before I even met him. And when we were talking about moving to Alberta, the decision was made that if we were going to go anywhere, it would be back here to Whitecourt, just because it's absolutely beautiful. I'm just playing around with embellishments right now. I knew that I wanted to add just a little bit more of something to the spread, but I didn't know what. In the end, I settled for these Elle Studio chipboard stickers. I put a little phrase sticker down at the bottom of the photo, and then that blue heart, just to pull some more blue out of the picture into my spread. So back to the reason why I decided to end my album here. Number 1, it's full. And if I add any more, it's probably going to be too full. I noticed at this point, when I was doing my flip through, which you'll see at the end of the video, that my album is actually starting to fall apart. So when I noticed that, I was like, that's probably a good place to end here anyways. I'm done with the month of September in my regular scrapbooking anyways, so why not start fresh for the month of October with a new album? Join me over on Instagram, because when I post make the post for this spread, I will be explaining a little bit more about my thoughts on this little journey that I was on in this series that I created. There's the flip through. I hope this layout inspired you today. I hope this series has inspired you to maybe try something a little bit different. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and a like, and I'll be back again soon with more creative inspiration. Bye, friends.